getting your forecast for fire. So what's important to know? Temperature and relative humidity are very important. Your wind speed, what we call a 20-foot wind speed, that's 20 feet above the ground or 20 feet above your structure that's in the area. Is there a chance of rain? Your transport, winds, and your mixing height are very important. Your daytime temperature, not what is your temperature right now, is what is it going to be at the peak of your burn period, right? That's very important. Hotter, drier conditions obviously are going to create more burn volatility. Your temperature is inversely related to our relative humidity. So as temperature goes up, relative humidity generally goes down, okay? So when we talk about relative humidity, it's an important factor because it kind of determines how things burn. If the fuel bed is really dry, it's not as important, but when you get relative humidities, say below 20%, everything kind of wants to burn. And it's just something, cow pies burn a lot longer, sticks burn a lot longer, things just that normally wouldn't light, they just don't have any moisture in them. So when you're trying to kill cedar trees, you often want your relative humidity below 20% because you really want to smack those trees. But generally for grassland burning, for private landowners, 20-25% is really about the lowest that you really want to be playing in until you get some, and even 30% relative humidity is a nice comfortable area to get your feet wet and if you start going below that, your chances of having to fight some fire, increase. So 20-foot wind, like I said, is measured above structure. So what's really important with wind? A 20-foot wind up high at 20 feet is about, there's a conversion factor, so it's about a 15-foot wind at eye level, all right? So that's good to know. If you're out there burning with more than about a 15-foot wind at eye level, you're probably pushing the ability of yourself or your people or your equipment to handle that, okay? So that's why when we kind of make recommendations to private landowners, we have an upper level of our wind speed at 20 miles an hour or about 15 miles an hour at eye level. Yesterday we were burning here with wind about 20 to 22 miles an hour at eye level, but we also had the resources to be able to handle that. Mixing height, well, what is mixing height? Mixing height is an important factor. If you look at your forecast that I handed out, I want you just to look at page 1. So in here, there is, on the second paragraph down, it says smoke dispersal, and it says around 31,000 feet or good, okay? I just want to point that out because it has to do with the next few things I'm going to talk about. Mixing height is a factor that occurs every day on the land. The sun comes out, it heats up the ground, hot air rises. As it rises through the atmosphere, it starts to get cooler and cooler and cooler. And as it gets cooler, it starts to move off, and because it's cold, it kind of drops back down. And as it gets lower to the ground, it starts to heat up again, and it just creates that cycle. And that's mixing. And the level that this happens at on the top when that cold air starts to come back down is called our mixing height. So if air does this, what else is going to do this? Smoke, right? So how high is our smoke going to go before it's dissipated in the atmosphere? And then we want our transport winds to move that smoke away, okay? That's the point of the mixing height. And what we want is high mixing heights. We want things that are just going to go up and go away, and then to let the wind blow them away, all right? And it becomes someone else's problem. No, it just dissipates the smoke and everything's good. So what we're looking for in our fire weather forecast, like I handed out, is we want good to excellent smoke dispersal, meaning that smoke's going to go up and be gone and not create any trouble. So here we've got really good lift, but we don't have much wind, we don't have much dispersal. Here we've got poor lift, and if this was if this is a bigger fire, also we would have really poor dispersal. This is kind of mislabeled. We've got really, really good lift. I'm not sure that we've got great dispersion at of that smoke column, okay? Here's where we got really good both. We got high mixing heights, We got good lift and we got good smoke dispersion, right? It's up in that upper atmosphere and it's just going away and gone. So how do we know is what we're going to get into. So you got your handouts in front of you. How do we know this? I'm just going to go over one common resource. There's lots of different ways to get weather, but I'm going to point you to the National Weather Service, okay? Because it's pretty reliable in this regard. On the first page in your handouts, you're looking at, you've got today's forecast, okay? But if you go to the National Weather Service's website, it's super simple. You type in your town name right here, all right? So I typed in Watertown, South Dakota. And along the bottom, this is your general forecast for anybody that wants to go to a soccer game or anything like that. Basically, it'll tell you what's going on in general terms. Like this afternoon, it's mostly cloudy with a high of 79, south wind around 14. To kind of tell you what's going on tonight. Gives you a pretty good indicator of what's going on with the weather. If you go a little further down that page, you'll see a weather graph. What a weather graph is a really cool tool. So it tells you here's today, here's tonight, here's tomorrow night. And it shows, so the red line is our temperature line, what we can expect. The purple line here is our wind. And if you're not used to reading wind, the little arrows indicate the direction the wind is coming from. So this is a south wind, and the little bars coming off of it, every long bar is 10 miles an hour, and every short bar is 5 miles an hour. So you can look at this, and so we got 15-mile-an-hour wind here. And then this upper line shows us some of our gusts that we can expect, okay? And then we get down here, and we're looking at our relative humidity. So I can use this graph to know that if I'm going to burn tomorrow, my lowest point of my humidity is going to be around 5 p.m., okay? So I can use this for general planning purposes. But if I want to know more, and I should want to know more, then I'm going to click on Fire Weather, which is this little tab down here. That'll bring up a map of my area, and I can pick my spot. And I could go a little deeper into this, but I'm not going to. And that gives us this printout of our fire weather. And when you look at that, it'll tell us in great detail what's going on in verbiage. Like today, breezy with cool conditions expected for most of the area with temps in the mid-60s to near 80, which is near Highway 20. Minimum humidity value will be 30 to 50%, and storms are likely or possible tonight. And then it gives me the details of my day. So my sky weather is mostly sunny until about noon, then partly cloudy. Max temp 61 to 66. This is for Astoria, South Dakota, which is just north of us here now. I'm going to have mixing height of around 3,000 feet, which isn't all that high. But with my northeast transport winds, I've got relatively good smoke dispersal. Very simple. That makes me avoid negligence, right? That's how I look at my day and say, you know, I planned for my weather, and it looked pretty good for what we needed to do. So smoke is important to take into account.